Is this on? Yes. So several of the choir members will be doing little testimonials about what music means to them. And I'm the first to go. And I'm doing mine musically. Some people I know are saying, we didn't know you could play the guitar. And you're going to find out. So there's lots of reasons why people join the choir, but there are lots more reasons why people don't join the choir. The most common thing I hear, one of the common things is, I can't sing. Well, the fact of the matter is everybody can sing, and everybody can learn to sing better with practice. But the bigger thing I hear is people saying, I'm too busy, too much going on in my life, and I get that. When I joined the choir 17 years ago, I was working full time, I still am, had lots of things going on in my life, but in retrospect, joining the choir was one of the best things I ever did in my whole life. For so many reasons, but I'll tell you, there is nothing, when you are singing a song that has deep meaning for you and you are joining your voice with other people to blend into one larger voice, and that voice fills this room, this sanctuary, it is absolutely magical. So I encourage folks, everybody here, think about joining the choir if you've ever thought about it. And folks who in the past were in the choir, Kyle and Scott, you sat in the front row, you get it. Think about rejoining the choir. Now is the perfect time. We're about to take a break for the summer, and then we're going to hit the ground running in the fall, kind of learning all new songs. So now is the time. Reach out to Josh, to me, any of our choir members, talk to us, chat, and find out what it's all about. So in case you're ever wondering why I sing in the choir, here's the story about why I sing in the choir, how it is that I came to sing in the UU choir, and this is an absolutely true story. And it, let me get in the groove here. Okay, this is a song called "To God Credit." When I was a Boy Scout, when our son Daniel was a Boy Scout, we were so proud. In my family, for generations, to not be a Boy Scout was not allowed. And you must be an Eagle Scout to hang with the Haas crowd. He checked all those Eagle boxes. He was friendly, courteous, and kind. But one Eagle box was a problem. Daniel was in a bind. He needed a letter from a preacher to cross the Eagle finish line. He said, Dad, I need the God credit, and I need it awful quick. So we looked in the yellow pages for a church that won't make us sick. And we found this place on Woodmont that just might do the trick. He asked the preacher for the God credit. Gail Seavey understood. She said, I'm happy to write you a letter, but it might do no good. You see, our church accepted gay Boy Scouts when few churches would. For Daniel's Eagle Project, he helped refugees stay in our neighborhood. But the local Boy Scout head honcho said that does our community no good. Why don't you do something useful, like build a bench in the woods? Daniel joined the church youth program. That did please us. I joined the choir and learned songs that were not about Jesus. And for flower communion, took antihistamines to avoid the sneeze-us. Well, Daniel got the God credit, and he wears the eagle crown. Hang on. Well, Daniel got the God credit, and he wears the eagle crown. A new preacher lady came to Nashville. Where's the eagle crown? Those Sudanese men, they still live in our town. And gay Boy Scouts, they're the least of the Boy Scouts' worries now. Well, Gail Seavey, she headed to Salem to give the God credit to folks up there. A new preacher lady came to Nashville, her wisdom to share. And me, I still sing in the choir, like Charlie Parker's teddy bear. So if your child needs a God credit, I don't know what Charlotte Arsenault will do. But if you want to sing in a choir, I know just the place for you. First Nashville Union. The God credit.
Good morning. Can you hear me? My name is Jodi McDaniel. My pronouns are she, her. I first read Michael Bishop's Out of the Mouths of Olympus in the early 1980s. And these lines have seared themselves in my consciousness and have stayed with me. I have listened to and made music differently ever since. Music has a crystalline structure. It constitutes an important seam between the spiritual and the material worlds. The entire universe, the whole staff of God's harmonic thought, sings through the consciousness of every human being. But few of us train ourselves to hear the melodies. Now, I've done some research, and I want to share with you what I've found. Crystals are arranged in a highly ordered microscopic structure and are held together by interatomic bonds. They have been a part of many healing journeys for centuries, and they are purported to vibrate at a cosmic level. And what is music but a vibration? The sound waves emanate from their source and change their surroundings. The chords are struck, the tones are sung, the dance is altered. Now, there's a theory that was proposed as early as Charles Darwin that rhythm, pattern recognition, intonation, musicality is deeply rooted in human biology, perhaps before spoken language. And other beings have been observed responding to and reproducing elements of music. My dear dog Brady, bless his sweet part beagle soul, could and often did sing along with the piano, and he was on pitch. Now, I'm not making that up, and I have a recording if you want to hear it. William Congreve said in his 1697 play, The Mourning Bride, "Music hath charms to soothe the savage breast, soften rocks, and bend the knotted oak." And I'm sure each of us can remember a time when a song, a melody, a symphony brought us to tears, eased a broken heart, soothed a fevered grief, calmed a screaming anger. The May 14th, 2026 issue of Psychology Today says, "Music has an extraordinary ability to reconnect us with emotional memory because it bypasses intellectual processing. The right music induces a physiologic state of safety, a requirement for healing." I would go further and say that music takes us out of ourselves and returns us back to who we really are. I just retired as a teacher, but I have one memory. I have lots of them, but I have one memory that's really important to me. I took my 6 to 9-year-olds, 28 of them, to symphony rehearsal in Nashville. And none of them had ever been to a symphony before. Now, as a teacher, if any of you are out there that are teachers, you are always scanning for the next disruption or the next level of doom. Who knows? But as this rehearsal started, all 28 of those children settled back in their seats. They were quiet. They were attentive. They were listening. And about a few measures in, of course, as a teacher, I'm scanning again, right? And I look, and they're all quiet. But there's this one child who's even quieter than the rest. And as I looked closer, tears were running down his 7-year-old face. If music be the food of love, play on. In Greek mythology, Apollo and the 9 muses preside over music, song, dance, poetry, and healing. Making music is the closest I have ever come to standing on Olympus.
Hello. Okay. I've always had a love of music. I joined the church, I think, in the mid-1990s. I didn't join choir at that time because my brothers always put down my singing. So I never thought it was very good until I decided to try it. Depression is something that I've dealt with all my life. Singing helps me to not be depressed. I did photos of rock stars in the 1970s, country music in the 1980s and 1990s. I have always sang with the radio in the car, but it wasn't until I joined the choir here at First UU that I learned of my ability to sing. Now I love singing. I love to move as I sing. Thank you for letting me be part of the choir.